Researchers, welcome back to my research channel. Today I'm gonna teach you how to write a strong problem statement where your supervisor will not have to tell you you have to rewrite it so many times. No, I'm gonna teach you how to do it. Easy and feasible, achievable. Mm-hmm. I'm already excited. Let's dive into it. Step one, understand what the problem statement is. Let me calm down. You have to understand what is a problem statement. What is a problem statement? A problem statement is simple. What is wrong? Why is it a problem? Who is affected? What evidence proves that this is a problem? So if you understand this, you understand what the problem statement is. Step two, avoid vague problem statements. Don't just write water is polluted. No, we need evidence. So studies quote the study, the year the study took place, reported that there was increased concentration of heavy metals pollution in so place. Now we have evidence. We know where it's affected. We know who is affected in the problem statement. Don't just say, water is polluted. Where did you say it? I saw it on TikTok. We are not dealing with your TikTok. Calm down. We're not dealing with TikTok problem statement here. We need real proof, real facts. Because what if today the video is there, tomorrow it's not there? We the supervisors go to see the video, it has been deleted. Or TikTok has even removed the video. How do you want us to verify your problem statement, guys? No. Problem statement, you have to bring in where the problem is and come in with quoted data, reports from other studies, from the news. It could even be from the news, from the media. You quote them. Oh, this is from this, it was reported by this. You have a quote, you have it documented, and you even write the dates you assess this information, so that if we go to the same information, we could be able to assess it. You sometimes you even have to put a link, so that if we click on that link, it will take us back to where you got that information from. This is the kind of evidence we want in problem statement. We don't just want to work with hearsay. We need facts. We need evidence. Step three, use the sentence formula. This really helps a lot. It really helps you write it down paragraph by paragraph. Remember, it's a whole document you're presenting as your proposal, and your proposal make up part of your chapter 1 to chapter 3 in your own research. So now you have to keep giving the best paragraph by paragraph. First paragraph, you highlight the context. What is going on? Okay, this system of education has also hindered from assessing this quality of a paragraph. Secondly, problem plus evidence. One, we need to see the evidence. Where did this take place? Who and who reported cases like this? When last was it reported? We need you to quote your source and tell us, please. I just remembered GTP. Please don't start running there to bring out source for us. No. Go and research your source. The sources are there in Google Scholar, Science Direct. A lot of information there, and now there are a lot of journals carrying out all the same free where you can also access it. Most times, please go in there and do your research. Don't just run to chats and then bring up something for us. No, do the work. Then also why it matters. That's the last paragraph. You're addressing a concern, a problem, that this is why it matters. You're addressing a concern, a problem that is ongoing, or people have been exposed to it. There's health impacts. There can be health issues related to this if it's not addressed on time. So you see why it's important. If you use this 3 sentence formula, the context, the problem plus evidence, and why it matters. It will help you simplify your problem statement into 3 different paragraphs for your proposal. This is full example of step 4. This is just a paragraph in your problem statement. For example, rural communities in Limpopo province rely heavily on borehole water for drinking, household use. However, recent studies indicate elevated concentration of lead and cadmium exceeding the World Health Organization standards. This poses significant risks to vulnerable population, yet there is limited research assessing the extent and potential sources of this contamination in this area. That is a full paragraph of a problem statement. And if you're a honor student, you need up to like 2 to 3 paragraph, full paragraph of problem statement. Masters, it's increased. PhD, how much more PhD? My problem statement had I think 1 page plus was part of my problem statement. And you could also include pictures of cases of what you're talking about as part of your problem statement. I also included pictures of things that was going on so that they could be physical evidence of what was going on. Then step 5, always end your problem statement with a research gap. Research gap is so crucial in research because why are you doing this research in the first place? Is to fill a gap. If there's no gap, why are you doing it? Gap means is something someone else there's a kind of void in that area of research, and your research, the problem you're going to address in your research is going to fill that void. That is what we call research gaps. Like this one wants to trace also the sources of contaminant. It said limited research have addressed the extent and potential sources of this contaminant. So if there are limited research, that's a research gap. There's lack of research that is focusing in this area of sources, tracing the sources of this contaminant to the groundwater, to the water sources. So you also have to have a research gap that addresses your research. Even if someone else have done the same thing, but in a different study area, or maybe the person did it in China and you're in South Africa, you could always repeat the same research and said, okay, in this part of the world, this kind of study has not been addressed, or limited studies have been carried out on this. It's also a research gap because no studies in this part addressed it. So you are addressing, you are filling the void this side. And also, if someone did the studies maybe 20 or 30 or 10 years ago, there's no recent data on the study, you can come up with that as a point of justification while you're doing the research. That, okay, the last data reported on this particular issue was 10 years ago. Considering urbanization, development, change of this, climate change, there are a lot of factors you could state. There is a need for recent reports, recent data on the state of things. Now, you bring in your own justification, your own gap, that this is why you're doing it. It's not because someone else already in the bed. Now we need recent data to be able to see, okay, the state of things, what is really going on. That's also one of the research gaps you can bring in your own research. Yeah. If you want me to help with your problem statements, comment below what you're working on. And don't forget to also subscribe to my channel. And also stay tuned for the next video.